If you're doing this, you're sabotaging yourself and don't even know it. I wasted 2 entire years on cold showers, journaling, nofap, waking up at 4 a.m., and I'm still broke, single, and stuck. The harsh truth about why you're failing, no one will tell you, but I will, because I lived it. I followed all the self-improvement advice, I bought the courses, cut off my friends, gave up porn, I built routines, woke up before sunrise, tracked my dopamine, and somehow, none of it made me better. Just lonelier, more delusional. I was doing the right things, but for all the wrong reasons. Here's what I learned the hard way. Most of you are addicted to trying instead of actually changing. Every day I'd convince myself I was leveling up, watching productivity videos like they were gospel, reading stoicism quotes, tracking habits like I was building a character in a game. But if I'm honest, I was avoiding the truth. I had no confidence, no direction, no identity. Self-help gave me the illusion of progress. It tricked my brain into thinking I was evolving, when really I was just chasing dopamine in a more socially acceptable way. You think feeling productive is the same as being effective? It's not. And that tiny reward your brain gives you every time you try, that's what's keeping you stuck. You say things like, "At least I'm improving," or "At least I'm not lazy like other people." That's not humility, it's self-deception. You're not pushing forward, you're just hiding in effort. And let's be real, 80% of men who live off self-help content never fix shit. They're still broke, still anxious, still purposeless. But now they've got a checklist and a podcast to make the excuses sound smart. But here's what's even worse. You're not growing, you're hiding. And the worst part, you've convinced yourself that it's progress. But here's the uncomfortable truth. You're using self-improvement to avoid real-world rejection. You'd rather meditate for 30 minutes than talk to a girl who might not want you. You'd rather spend your weekend journaling about your vision than actually stepping outside and risking public failure. That's not discipline, that's fear in disguise. You've built this little padded cell of rituals and routines so you never have to feel the sting of reality. But listen, in other cultures, a man becomes a man when he provides, when he takes hits and keeps moving, when he builds something real, not when he's obsessing over cold exposure and watching YouTube on alpha posture. That's not masculinity. That's mental masturbation. So here's a real test. When was the last time you did something hard, something deeply uncomfortable, and didn't document it for your ego, didn't track it, didn't tell your group chat, didn't post about it on your journey, just did it because it needed to be done? See, improving in private feels safe, it gives you control. But real growth, that happens when the world smacks you in the face, and you get back up anyway. You keep thinking you're preparing for life, but life doesn't care how many books you read or how carefully you structured your morning routine. It cares how you respond when shit hits the fan. So let's stop pretending. You're not preparing, you're avoiding. And now here's what actually works, but you won't like it. Here's the brutal truth. You need to stop endlessly consuming information and start failing publicly. That means doing the things that shine a spotlight on your weaknesses instead of hiding them behind routines and motivational quotes. Cold approach a girl and get rejected. Don't just daydream about it or plan it in your head. Launch that side hustle or project and watch it flop in front of the world. Apply to jobs you're terrified you're not qualified for, and risk getting slammed with a no. This is how real growth happens, because failure in private, where nobody sees, is comfortable. You can cry into your pillow, rant in your journal, or replay your mistakes alone. But failure in public? That's raw. That's real. That's where you get punched in the face by life and have to decide if you'll stay down or get back up. Most people never do this because it's scary, and it should be. If it's not scary, you're not pushing yourself hard enough. So here's your immediate action. Delete your self-help playlists and mute the noise. Text 3 people, friends, family, mentors, and ask them for brutal, honest feedback. Not what you want to hear, what you need to hear. Then today, apply for a job or opportunity that makes your gut twist with anxiety because you think you're not ready. Do it anyway. Don't wait for motivation or perfect timing. That's a lie you tell yourself to stay comfortable. This process won't flip your life upside down in 30 days. Real change doesn't happen overnight, but give it 6 months and you won't be the same man. You'll be someone people respect, not because you suddenly improved, but because you endured the hard, ugly process. You'll know it's working when fear shows up, and instead of running, you lean into it and do the work anyway. That's where true growth lives. Everything else? Just noise, distractions, and excuses. Here's the brutal summary. Stop lying to yourself with endless self-help routines and feel-good habits. You're not improving, you're avoiding. Avoiding rejection, avoiding failure, avoiding the hard truth that real change demands discomfort. If you're actually serious about getting better, then do one thing today that scares you, that makes you uncomfortable, that pushes you outside your safe little bubble. Stop pretending you're working on yourself while you're really just hiding behind routines and podcasts. If you want more hard-hitting, uncomfortable truths from someone who's been through the fire and failed first, hit subscribe. I'll say what the gurus won't, and I'll call out your bullshit when no one else will. Remember this: growth starts the moment you stop bullshitting yourself.